Welcome back, YouTube. It's Mintzy, and today we are going to be going over the ZA Phase 4 badge items. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. So first off, we're going to start with the cloth items. Very first one is the Achromatic Trousers of the Naru. These are massive spell haste legs, and they also have a bunch of healing. These will be 75 badges of justice. The next cloth item is the Light Bless Bonds, 2 gem sockets, 60 badges of justice, and a fair bit of healing for catch-up gear. Next, we have the Pantaloons of the Arcane Annihilation. These are going to be BIS for a lot of LE Shamans. These are 75 badges of justice if you need the catch-up gear. That is their BIS. Rune Spell Cuffs. That is a 35 badge Spell Haste Caster DPS upgrade. We have the Studious Wraps. Those are 60 badges of justice, 2 gem sockets, Spell Crit, and Spell Power cloth caster DPS gloves. We have the Wrist Guards of the Tranquil Thought. Those are 35 badges of justice, and that has a yellow socket as well. Spell Crit and healing. We have a Voodoo Woven Belt, 60 badges of justice. If you don't have your Belt of Blasting, this is a pretty good option. So now we're going to get into the leather options. Some of the leather options are a little weird because they don't have secondary stats. This one example, Band of the Swift Paw, just has a gem socket, 35 badges. Could be something useful for someone that doesn't have a pair of bracers. Then we have the Starfire Waistband, that's 60 badges of justice. Red and a yellow socket, and this is going to be a Spell Crit and Spell Power and MP5 belt. We have the Blessed Lunite Coverings, 75 badge of justice chest, critical strike and spell power with MP5 on it, a yellow, red, and a blue socket. Next up, we have the Foot Wraps of the Wild Encroachment, another piece that just doesn't have secondary stats, but it does have 2 gem sockets, a red and a yellow one, with a 3 strength bonus. Next, we have Gargon's Bracers of Peaceful Slumber, blue socket, 35 badges of justice, and 55 bonus healing. Now we have the Gnarled Ironwood Pauldrons. Healing done, 73, 2 sockets, and it's 60 badges of justice. If you don't have anything, this might be your piece. We have the Grasps of the Moonkin, Spell Haste and Spell Power, 60 badge gloves. Not a bad option if you don't really have anything that's equivalent to that. Now we have the Mask of Primal Power, 3 sockets in it, and we have a Spell Crit and Spell Power. Massive headpiece. Now we have the Master Wrist Wraps. That is a yellow socket, crit, and attack power for 35 badges of justice. We have the Moonwalkers, 2 red sockets with a spell hit bonus, and also spell hit and spell power as a secondary stat. Now we have Nija's Abbey Boots, blue and a red socket with hit rating and attack power, probably decent for a feral, 35 badges of justice if you do need the hit. Now we have the Pants of Splendid Recovery, nice pair of healing leather pants, 75 badge of justice, a red, a yellow, and a blue socket with 86 bonus healing. Now we have the Pauldrons of the Tribal Fury, leather caster DPS. I don't know if they're really going to need all the hit, but if you do, it's got a red and a yellow socket as well, and that's 60 badges of justice. Now we have the Shallow Grave Trousers. This is improve your haste and your attack. This is going to be 75 badges of justice, not bad for a feral that doesn't have skulkers. Now we have the Trickster's Sticky Fingers. Haste rating by 25, attack power by 68, and 60 badges justice. No gem socket in those, unfortunately. Now, these are really, really nice. This base, the Vestments of Hibernation. This bad boy, your attacks ignore 150 of the opponent's armor. A very, very decent feral piece for 75 badges of justice if you do need the catch-up gear. Some people do need it, some people don't. Now, badges gear is like a mix. It's a mix of tier 5 and tier 6, if you will. Now we have the Waist Guard of the Great Beast, blue and a red socket, and it just improves hit rating. This might be just someone that's looking for hit out of their set. Strength, agility, stam, 60 badges of justice, melee DPS most likely. The Arm Wraps of the Caledori Protector. It's got a yellow socket in it, spell crit, and also spell power for 35 badges of justice. A leather caster DPS will use these. Next up, we've got the mail items. For the first item, we have the Gleaming Earthen Bracers. They are healing bracers, which give you 10 MP5, and they're 35 badges of justice. Now we have the Gauntlets of Sniping. That's hit rating, attack power, and 2 gem sockets for 60 badges of justice. Now we have the Grips of the Nature's Wrath, red and a yellow socket, spell crit, and spell power for 60 badges. Not a bad alley backup. Now we have the Hubbard of Furious Elements, spell crit, spell haste, and spell power. This might be a nice piece on an alley. Earthquake Bracers, 21 intellect, 1 yellow gem slot, and damage and healing done by 26, and 8 MP5 for 35 badges. Now we have the Men Can Do belt, spell haste. This is another belt of blasting, or no, this is actually healing belt for 60 badges of justice. Now we have the Natural Life leggings, yellow, red, and blue sockets, a bunch of spell hit, caster, or healing pants. Now we have the Polish Water Scale gloves, increases the healing, another healing. Shifting camouflage pants, it's attack power by 50, and your attacks ignore 175. This is probably a better item for an enhanced shaman. Now we have Pauldrons of Furious Elements, spell haste, very, very good for 60 badges. We have the Steady Bracers, increase the attack power by 50 and ignores 105 armor, not bad for a hunter. Now we have the Storm Wrap, 60 badges, yellow and a blue socket, spell hit, spell crit, all the juice in it. Now we have the Treads of Booming Thunder for 60 badges, red and a yellow socket, spell crit, and a bunch of spell damage on there. Now these are the Treads of Life Path. These are a pair of healing boots with blue and a yellow socket, 6 MP5 and 75 bonus healing for 60 badges of justice. Next we got the War Feathered Loop. This is the last male item. 29 agility, 36 stamina, 28 intellect, and attack power, and ignores 70 of your opponent's armor for another 60. So we're going on to the plate items. A lot more DPS, or a lot more tanking items. 60 badges for a tank belt, probably a warrior. And then we've got the Chain of Unleashed Rage. This one's actually a DPS belt for 60 badges of justice, a warrior belt. Now we have the Chest Guard of the Stoic Guardian. This is going to be a paladin chest for 75 badges of justice with a red, a yellow, and a blue socket in it. We have the Eternum Rage Shackles. Bunch of strength, and it ignores 150 of your opponent's armor for 35 badges of justice. Wish that had agility or crit, you know? 60 badges of justice. The Handguards of the Templar. Improve spell haste by 25 and healing, so paladin healing gloves. Placeable Guardian Sebtunes. 2 blue gems and 75 healing, so paladin healing boots. We have the High Just Stars legging plates. These are another pair of Pally healing pants, and they are 75. Then we have the Amani Mask of Death, red, yellow, and blue socket with a ton of hit for 75 badges. Now we have the Sebtunes of a Righteous Defender, a nice pair of Paladin's boots, spell hit on them, very, very nice. Block value, defense, and gems. Now we have the Girdle of the Protector, 60 badges of justice, blue and yellow sockets, another juicy paladin item with spell hit on it. They must love that. Pauldrons of the Gruesome Fate, 60 badges, no gem slots in this, but improves hit and ignores armor, 154 of the opponent's armor. Braces of the Ancient Phalanx. This is probably most likely a warrior piece, expertise and defense. Those were 35 badges. This is 75 badges, red, yellow, and blue socket. The Unwavering Leg Guards. They're a nice, nice pair of pants. Now we have the Van Braces of the Naru, a yellow socket. These are going to be Paladin Healing bracers with MP5 on them. We have the Bloodthirster's Wargreaves, a red, yellow, and a blue socket, and improves hit rating. Big chunk of strength on that. The Furious Death Grips, another big, nice chunk of hit. Red and a yellow socket for 60 badges of justice there. And then we have the Bone Fist Gauntlets. Parry and hit rating, and a red and a blue socket for 60 badges of justice. And that's the end of the plate items. And now we're going to be going into something a little bit different. We do have some accessories. The Fetish of Primal Gods. This is a nice Warlock offhand with Tempest of Chaos. 35 badges. We have the Brooch of Deafness. Hit rating by 22 and expertise by 21 with a chunk of stamina. 35 badges there. Then we have 6 Cloak of Placation. This is a defense tank cloak. 37 stamina. We have the Voodoo Shaker. This is a nice healing offhand with spirit and intellect on it. Then we have the Carved Witch Doctor's Stick. And this one is kind of like an okay. That's definitely like if I don't have a wand, I'll use it. So now we do have some relics for you. The Idol of the Unseen Moon. This is a Moonkin. 20 badges of justice for that bad boy. The Idol of Terror. This is a Feral Druid. Your Mango ability has a chance to grant 65 agility for 10 seconds. Then we have the Idol of Budding Life. Reduces the mana cost of Rejuvenation by 36. That's 20 badges as well. Next up, we have the Libram of Mending. Your Holy Light spells grant 22 MP5 for 30 seconds. Another 20 Badge of Justice piece. And we have the Libram of Divine Purpose. This increases the damage done by your Seal of Righteousness and Judgment of Righteousness. Skycaller's Totem. Skycall's Totem. Lightning Bolt has a chance to grant 100 Spell Haste. Nice LE piece. Now we have the Stonebreaker's Totem. This is Shock Enhanced piece. 20 badges of justice for that. We have the Totem of Living Water. Reduces the base mana cost of Chain Heal by 20. Nice Resto Shaman Totem for 20 badges. Then we have the Libram of Divine Judgment. Your Judgment of Command ability has a chance to grant 200 attack power for 10 seconds. A nice ret piece. So now, I'm not normally a big PvPer, but I do believe we have some PvP items coming in this phase. And we do, yes. Cloak of Arcane Alaricity. Now this has got a big chunk of spell haste for a cloak. That was 60 badges. Then we have the Cloak of Subjugated Power. That's a crit resilience piece. It's a caster. Then we have the Cloak of Swift Reprieve. That's another spell haste cloak, but this is more of a healing cloak. So be the healing cloak for 60 badges. Then we have now we have Dory's Embrace. This is going to be the melee. Attack power ignores 112 of your enemy's armor and a bunch of crit on it. Then we have a Karamaz Shroud of Hope. Another healing cloak without haste, but it has MP5 this time. Now we have some of the trinkets, the Battle Master's Electricity. So this is going to be the spell haste version. Now they all have the secondary part. They're all the same that they use. The on use is increase maximum health by 1750 for 15, but they all share a cooldown. And that was the Battle Masters that all share cooldowns. And they're all 75 badges of justice. This is Depravity. This is the spell crit rating one. Then we have Cruelty. That is the crit strike one. And then I believe there's one more. Yes, there is. There is Determination. And this one's attack power. I think there's one more. Yeah. Perseverance. This one increases the healing done by 88. And all other magical spells by 30. So, I have a little tidbit of information. Now, badges. You can get 61 badges of justice per day from heroics plus dailies. And then on top of that, you have your raids for the week. Now, this might be an ungodly amount if you raid a lot. Props to you. 22 badges in Karazhan, 26 technically in Zul'Aman because of the 2 resets, 5 in Gruul's Lair, 3 in Mag's Lair, 12 in Serpent Shrine, 8 in Tempest Keep, and that is 503 badges total. So I have a little gold making tip as well. Nether Vortex and Primal Nether will both be available and they'll be tradable. So one last piece of information, I would suggest stockpiling your badges for Phase 5 because these epic gems will be on the badge vendor for 15 badges of justice. Even though they do drop in the raids, it's still going to be nice to be able to not pay any gold and just use your badges. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you have an enjoyable ZA experience. I know I will. See you on the next one.